Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ian Bailey Magic, and this week I am doing a magic review. Let's have a look. Welcome back, everyone. It's brilliant to be back 2 weeks in a row. How good is that? That's unheard of me. Last week's video, my kind of top 10 EDC trick video, went down very, very well. I had a lot of really positive comments from you. Had a lot of people going on my website and purchasing some of the things as well, so I always appreciate that. And a lot of people emailing me asking where to get the smoke device for Holy Smoke by Greg Wilson as well. So really good. Had a lot of feedback from you all, and really appreciate you coming back for this week's video as well. Now, I don't do many reviews, and the reason why is because probably just not very good at them, and also I don't have a lot of time to really kind of watch like a 5-hour or a 6-hour tutorial and all that kind of stuff, and so, you know, I'm very kind of picky as to when I do certain reviews. I think what I might do in the future is maybe put up 2 tricks and on YouTube as a poll, as a post, and you get to vote between the 2 tricks of what trick I review that month. I'm going to try and do 1 review a month, and maybe do 1 kind of top 10 kind of video, because I love those. 1 insights video, which is more kind of theory based and maybe my kind of thoughts on magic. 1 review, and then maybe 1 interview. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try and get a format and follow it along. And I want to make this more regular now as well. Things are kind of settled down a bit more now. The little one's growing up. He's becoming a bit more independent, and it's a bit easier now for me to do these videos. So it's going to be a fairly short one today, hopefully for your sake. And this one is quite an interesting one. It was given to me by Josh Hall, who is a independent creator. This is his first release, his debut release. And I used to hang out with him occasionally at the Home Counties Magic Club before he moved away. And he sent me this little trick for a review, and we're going to get into it. It is called Hue and Me by Josh Hall. So what you get is a little booklet. That's right, an old school booklet. And I was initially, when I received this, I was thinking, a bit unnecessary, isn't it? You could have just done a video download. You know, if there's any kind of small release that I do on my website, it's usually just a video download and it's done, you know. But what I loved about this was the fact that I could sit out in the garden on a sunny day and read it. I enjoyed a cup of tea, I enjoyed a coffee outside, and I could just leisurely read a small pamphlet, booklet, etc. So I knew it wasn't going to be a big undertaking. It wasn't like, you know, I wasn't going to spend hours reading this, but also I wasn't outside looking on my smartphone with the glare of the screen shining on it, and, you know, the glare of the sun shining on the screen and not being able to see it, etc. And then your phone heats up, doesn't it? Overheats, and then you can't see it. It's, you know, it's a nightmare. So really nice, and it's made me think about some of the releases that I do, and maybe doing it as a printed form, so that, you know, you can do exactly that. You can go away on holiday and you can just take this book and you can just read it like that. So there we go. So that is it. Now, what is the effect? The effect is essentially a colour match routine. All of us have seen colour match advertised, whether you perform it yourselves. I personally don't, but, you know, it has always intrigued me. And the colour match typically uses some electronic devices, the mainstream method. Now, there has been other methods out there. Simon Lipkin's done a few as well, and there's been other people out there. I think Chris Congre's working on one at the moment. But Josh has released this one, which is a non-electronic version, just like Simon Lipkin's and Chris Congre. I'm guessing, I don't know Chris's method yet. But, you know, this is one of the alternative methods that you can use. Now, it's pretty much, for the spectator watching it, I think it's just as strong as the electronic version. Now, there's certain restrictions that this method has when it comes to how you perform it in the environment which you can perform it in. So the one thing that you can't do with this compared to colour match is you can't have it as a big version, okay? You can't have it printed out huge in a prediction envelope and there only being kind of one prediction in that envelope and you open up. You can't do that, okay? So this is strictly close up. Without going into too much, in terms of practicality, is very practical. The only drawback is you will need to have a stack of business cards to perform this, okay? And they'll need to be in your hand during that performance. Now, for the person watching, I don't think there's anything really as a major drawback. There is there's two versions. I think there's maybe a third version as well, but one version requires a kind of a card sleight, which is relatively easy. I think some people have struggled with that particular card move. Another one is a more traditional one, which we all know and can all do, but not as clean looking. It requires a little bit of misdirection for the first method. For the second method, you could do it surrounded and you'll be fine. You can even do the first method surrounded, but requires that little bit of misdirection just for a second there. So it is strictly a close-up routine. You do need a stack of business cards, not just like a prediction envelope. But as for the effect, what the audience see, I don't think they would really know any difference. All right. So essentially what you do is you have this stack of business cards, you take out one business card and give it to them, you take one as well, and you're going to draw a stick man, right? A kind of a little stick man or a Lego style man, a stick man you wouldn't be able to colour in. So Lego style man with a t-shirt, trousers, a hat, etc. And you colour it in, right? So you do a little prediction and you place the prediction down on the table. You ask them to draw a similar man, okay? They haven't seen yours, obviously, because they would see the colours. So they draw a little man as well, and then you give them 3 markers. So you give them a blue, black, red, whatever colour you want. And you're going to say to them, I want you to pick up one of these markers and paint the hat. Done, right? So rather than them picking up a marker, you turning your back and picking up a marker and going, have you got one? Yeah. Paint the hat with that one. You're not doing that, right? So the real advantage of this one is the fact that you're very open with them. There's no kind of turning away. You're not having to look away. I think a lot of the time when you're performing close up and you're having to look away whilst they write stuff down and all sorts, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? And you're having to kind of project your voice behind you saying, right, can you colour in the t-shirt now? No, your prediction's on the table. They're aware that you've made a prediction. And now you can just openly, face to face, just say to them, pick up one of them and draw the hat, colour in the hat for me, and they do it. So that's a real advantage, I think, and quite a practical, a nice thing for a conversation around a table. You haven't got to kind of worry about, facing the other way constantly. So that's good. Now, what you get in terms of video, you do get a video which is also included in the booklet, so you can watch that. I think he made it for a couple of people who are maybe asking for clarification on a few things. Don't think you need it, but it's nice to have it. On there you'll see a few live performances, so you'll kind of get an idea of how it works before kind of diving into the booklet. He can't put it on the trailer, the method. And some people will go, oh, he's been dishonest. He hasn't been dishonest. There's a few things which, as a magician, you can't put it on a trailer because people would then watch it back and they'll see it and, it would give the game away and you wouldn't be able to put your name to that trick. You wouldn't be able to kind of protect your method because people would just rip it off. So he hasn't done that, but don't look at that as a down point. That's fine. The method is good. It's going to work. It just requires a little bit of choreography, just for a split second, and you've got to have a reason to kind of hold the cards in your hand. That's a bit of a limitation on this one. But like I said, there's so many other advantages that kind of helps this compared to others. Now, in terms of skill, like I said, there's 2 variants. You're going to be fine whether you're an advanced kind of card technician or not. You're going to be okay with it, and I think for the price, it's very good. So the price is only $14.99, so it's very cheap. Like I say, you are getting this booklet as well, so you can kind of take it away on holiday this summer and read that, which is nice. And yeah, the quality of it. I think when I say that, I've made notes. You know what I mean? one of the kind of subsections is quality, but obviously on this there is no kind of quality of a gimmick as such, because you're just doing it with your own business cards, you're making it up yourself. The quality of the booklet, maybe I can comment on that. It's lovely, great GSM on the paper there, Josh, very good, nice, you know what I mean, nice card, nicely printed. You know, I think, is it colour printing? I think there was one random bit of colour. Yeah, there was one random bit of colour on one page. But yeah, it's really good. Like I say, you know, it will appeal to some of you out there who have been looking at different methods and you want to kind of do it close up. And I think sometimes the electronic versions, when you're doing it close up, table to table, sometimes I think it'd be a bit awkward depending on the environment that you're in and, you know, these things. It's nice to have an alternative method in your pocket ready to go if the other one fails. So I would probably suggest that. I think even if you do the electronic versions out there, and you know, you're doing that close up table to table, I would recommend buying this anyway, making it up and having it in your case in case the other one fails and you can use this. Having said that, a lot of people say that actually if you can do this type of version rather than electronics and it works just as well, then just do this, you know. So you may end up finding that you're selling your electronic one because this is getting the same impact on your audience and is, you know, a fraction of the price. So really good. I think it's a great you know, version of the routine. It's a good contribution to the magic community, and yeah, congratulations Josh on your first release. It's really good. Where can you buy this from? twistedmindsmagicshop.co.uk. I think they're the only ones who are stocking it at the moment. Luke over there, great guy who's running that, I think over in, is it in Norwich? I think his magic shop is. I actually purchased from there the first time ever, about a week or two ago. I saw his flash receipts, his flash paper printed onto receipts, went on there, bought that, and then of course other things piqued my interest, and I ended up purchasing a few other things as well. Great service from them. Yeah, really good. Go out and support Josh Hall, this independent creator, and this independent magic shop, twistedmindsmagicshop.co.uk. And that's it for the review. I hope that was painless. I hope that was good for you. If you would like to purchase some great magic, then you can also visit my magic shop, which is ianbaileymagic.com. My most recent releases are Reverb, which has been out for a while, but a combo pack with Case Dismissed, where you do reverb, the trick with your AirPods, and then you ask them to put your AirPods back in the case, and when they pick up your case off the table, they realise it's now turned into a solid lump of plastic. Very much similar to The Stone Purse by Nate Cranzo. So a really nice kicker ending if you already own Reverb, and maybe you haven't seen it, then you can go out and purchase that. Another bit of news, I am at the Alakazam Magic Convention this weekend, so come along in May, the beginning of May. I think this is the 13th of May, is it? Maybe not, let me just double check. It is the 9th of May. There we go. I don't want you turning up on the wrong date. So I'm going to be down there at the Alakazam convention. It's going to be a great time. I've got a brand new stand there. I've got a lot of new magic tricks which you can pick up, as well as Portaboard, this portable whiteboard for you pros out there and you people who are going out performing at weddings and things and want a portable whiteboard that plays big enough to the back of the room but packs up nice and small for your case. So these are all things to check out, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.